The quiet chill of a mid-December evening is broken by a chanting crowd gathered along downtown Renton's 3rd Street. The crowd is assembled in front of Bela Napoli, an unassuming little hole in the wall that prides itself in serving authentic Italian cuisine. Many of those gathered wave signs bearing the word boycott. Others chant in unison, accusing restaurant owner Ciro D'Onofrio of wage theft. The dispute involves former Bela Napoli server Rebecca Davis, who claims that D'Onofrio refuses to pay her for hours worked.
Boycott Bela Napoli! Boycott Bela Napoli! Boycott Bela.
The relationship between Davis and D'Onofrio began in September of 2010, at a time when a doomed business deal left D'Onofrio struggling to keep the restaurant open. As part of this effort, he brought on Davis as a server. According to Davis, this was to be a temporary arrangement. D'Onofrio needed a server to help him through a particularly challenging time, and Davis needed the employment, as she was temporarily out of work and waiting for remodeling efforts to finish at another restaurant. However, the relationship between the owner and server quickly soured. By the end of September, a wage dispute broke out, and Davis initiated legal action against the restaurant. Davis recalls the circumstances that provoked her response.
He said that he would be sending me a check in the mail. The check never came, and he has since refused to pay me my wages.
Surprisingly, D'Onofrio does not dispute initially refusing to pay the former server. However, he does dispute the amount that Davis says she is owed. Davis claims $478 in unpaid wages.
I said, listen, if anything, I owe you $128. But let me tell you what, I'm not going to give it to you.
That was restaurant owner Ciro D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio alleges that while Davis worked for him, she stole both cash and wine from the business, and in response, he decided to withhold wages to compensate for those losses. Davis denies the allegations. In early October of 2010, Davis filed a claim with the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries in an effort to recover her wages. She also sought help from Seattle Solidarity Network, a local organization that assists workers who are engaged in disputes over unfair labor practices and other social and economic issues.
A week later, she called me back again, and she threatened me, I'm going to shut you down. And that was, I don't know, maybe another 2 weeks go by. And then one night she showed up with 40, 50 people that started clapping and yelling.
Seattle Solidarity Network activist Matt Adams describes his organization as an action support group for Northwest laborers and renters.
Seattle Solidarity Network, which is also known as CSOL, is a workers and tenants mutual support network, which means that if you have a problem with a boss or landlord, we will support you through direct action, such as using pickets, demonstrations, creating bad publicity against the landlord or boss, and in exchange, you will support other members of CSOL in their other problems with bosses and landlords.
Although Labor and Industries ruled that D'Onofrio must pay Davis for time worked, Davis and CSOL maintain that the decision was based primarily upon D'Onofrio's accounting, which CSOL argues understates the actual hours worked by Davis. CSOL member Ryan Warswick points to documentation posted to D'Onofrio's Facebook page as evidence of the problems with D'Onofrio's accounting.
He's come up with these sheets that basically, they're supposed to, I guess, convince people that she was paid properly. And theoretically, she never did any of these. She never saw these sheets, but on the sheet, there's a space for her to sign, and there's a space for her to put her name at the top. And on almost every single one, the signatures look different. About half of them, there are no signatures. And the names at the top look different from one to one as well.
After adjusting for unpaid work that was originally tallied as training time, D'Onofrio was required by Labor and Industries to pay Davis $196, leaving over $280 in dispute. In an effort to recover the difference, CSOL organizes weekly pickets in front of Bela Napoli. They have also targeted high-traffic dinner services, such as Bela Napoli's Christmas and New Year events.
My New Year's Eve, It's no waste. I lost business. It's not fair to me. I lost another, I don't know, $700-800 just because she was out there.
Seasol pickets have not only affected D'Onofrio's business, they have tested his patience as well. In one video, posted to YouTube, D'Onofrio appears outside the restaurant, throwing and kicking over Seasol picket signs. Warswick describes D'Onofrio's alleged physicality in his confrontation with Seasol activists.
He came out and threw a bucket of water on 2 of our people and then spit on another one, this guy, Drew. He came out and kicked one of our members in the crotch.
From D'Onofrio's perspective, the issue of unpaid wages has already been resolved with the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. D'Onofrio argues that in light of the L&I decision, continued action by Seasol and Davis is unjust and unfairly damages his business. Although he admits that some people have advised him to simply pay Davis, saying that the fight is not worth his time, D'Onofrio does not seem willing to give in to the pressure.
And to me, that's extortion. So you have a group, and then you have a government agency that is entitled of deciding the wrongdoing, which they have. They told me I was doing wrong, and I accepted. Okay? So I'm sending you a check. Now, who is this group that tells me, no, you owe me this much? Who are you?
Although they would not reveal their next steps, Seasol states that they are prepared to continue to take action against D'Onofrio until Davis has paid the money that she claims is owed to her. This is not the first time that D'Onofrio has been confronted by a former employee seeking unpaid wages. As recently as November of 2010, another former employee of Bela Napoli filed a complaint with the Superior Court of King County alleging unpaid wages and overtime pay dating back to 2007. The outcome of this case is yet to be decided. For One World Report, I'm Bill West.